What do you think could have happened here?
Okay, my thing is after I had purchased it from her, I got a block away and the car was powering off. It went from 0 to 100 with the overheating issue. So therefore the car powered down.
You did bring it to a mechanic.
I did. I had to wait for a mechanic to come.
Did your mechanic say, oh, this was doctored, there was crazy glued, it was, somebody put an ice cube in it, that it was doctored to work for just a brief period of time, and then...
No, he didn't tell me that. He told me that the water pump went out.
Okay.
That's where the problems began, and then the thermostat, and then it needed
But I
a
don't
battery.
think, do you have any mechanical background?
No.
Is this your spouse?
It's my boyfriend.
Sir, do you have any mechanical background?
A little bit, yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
step up. I know you're proud of that, but it might not help you. So when she was selling this car, did you know about the car? Did you look
Well, I
into
wasn't
it?
part of the transaction itself the day it happened, but probably think maybe a week prior to that, we were actually in LA, drove around. Then we drove the car back to San Diego. We drove it around in San Diego while we were there. So.
And at what point from there did you then drive it to the plaintiff?
I had to fly out for business, so I think a week later maybe or so.
Yeah,
That's when she sold it.
So you did? Okay,
I did.
you can be seated.
You're
Thank you. When you bought the car with the salvage title, did you have to do anything to bring it up to par?
No, it was fine. When I bought this car, it was driving well.
And the title of the car does indicate that she had the car from 2018, so she did say that she had it for 3 years. So can you offer me, other than you got a bad deal maybe, what could have happened here?
Honestly, I don't know what happened to the car. You know, like I said, I got a block away and all this happened to me. I just find it pretty odd that it didn't happen any other time during the day for a water pump to give out. I don't buy that story. I'm sorry.
Unless you could show that she somehow doctored it up to make it work, we could only then attribute this to the age of the vehicle and the salvaged condition that it was in. You now have a car that works for the amount of money that Kelley Blue Book reflects, and all you did was put out some extra money to now bring it up.
But I don't feel that I do have a vehicle that works because of the engine problem.
Well, I don't have anything from anybody that tells me this car is fine, but it has an engine problem. You've given us nothing. The only thing you've given us is evidence that you did repairs that made the car not overheat anymore, start up with a strong battery. So your evidence actually belies your testimony in the courtroom because there's nothing to substantiate it. And you have a car that's now at book value. At this point, we're going to excuse all four of you while we deliberate in this matter. Thank you.
All right, it's quite apparent, I think, that this was a freely negotiated deal. The plaintiff was aware that it was a salvage title, and under the circumstances, she got a good buy, but it is an older car. It did have 160,000 miles on it. These things happen. Absence, fraud, these kinds of sales are as is, and she had every opportunity to inspect with respect to that. So plaintiff fails.
And good condition really does. I mean, if a tow truck ran over it and it now looks like this, it is in pretty good condition.
That's what I was thinking.
It's
It
not like
might be in great condition given the fact that it was smashed up.
But it was an arm's length transaction for a vehicle that, on its face, evidence of everything. The salvage, the amount of mileage. There was no changing anything. It was not like they set back the odometer. And if she had evidence that the car had an engine problem, she would have brought it in. So she's got pretty much a working vehicle for what we have determined is book value. The $3,200 plus the $1,400, which is $46,000, which is pretty much what the book is. So I think she's okay, and I don't think she's entitled to anything.
She's frustrated. She didn't have the car very long. I mean, it's an unfortunate circumstance, but everything was right there in the face for her. Salvage title, over 100,000 miles. It's an as-is sale. How she can go from there to pay me for missing work, I don't quite get.
And
I would dismiss.
I don't think she understands that as-is an implied condition also, because she said, well, she didn't write it. Well, you don't have to write
Yeah, I mean, the defendant's not lying when she says my salvage vehicle it's all right.
Ready?
Unanimous.